And we are back. And for this episode, let me show you. So we are now at gold tier. We are just about 3 games away from reaching platinum. And that is our goal for this episode, to reach platinum. So also, if you'd notice, we don't have much time. We only have less than 24 hours or so, or 40 hours. I don't remember, but we don't have a lot of time. So we need to get that 3 wins to get to platinum. Now we can keep this hand, yes. That is an easy keep. We have 3 lands. We got Jawari. Now we are doing Temple of Enlightenment, leaving Glass Casket at the top, just in case our opponent is a creature-based opponent, wherein they have green, so there is a chance, which is correct. But of course, we are not going to. Well, we don't have a choice actually. We only have another Temple of Enlightenment to play, so we can at least scout top of our deck. I won't be worried on that one yet because 1, we have Glass Casket. 2, we have Jawari as our backup, just in case our opponent decides to cast something nasty or any weird creature that we don't like, something like that. However, they have left 1 mana, so you can't counter that. Good news is we can, we'll have to take 6 for this one, or 7. Then we'll use Fabled Passage to get us a land, which is an island. We always get an island. Then let's cast Omen of the Sea. Oh, we got another Shatter the Sky. So we're going to keep that on top. So is the land. We need lands. And we have no choice but to use Shatter the Sky at this point. The good news is our opponent only has 2 cards left in their hand. And, 1 Shatter the Sky for 4 creatures is not that bad. Except that, of course, they have to draw, or giving them another card for that. But, again, 4 cards for 1 Shatter the Sky, not so bad. And if our opponent is casting spells, then that's not so bad either. Now at this point, Jawari Disruption isn't really as effective, so I'd rather cast Jace. I'd rather cast Jace with the Kicker. I think that's more efficient than leaving 2 mana for Jawari and our opponent just casting a creature or a spell that we can't counter because they are leaving enough mana to pay for it. So right now we're just using Jace's ability to scry, so we can scout the top of our deck, pretty much leaving lands at the top. That is not good.
I've got fun friends.
Oh. Well, the good news is we got Elspeth.
I love learning.
We also have Banishing Light, so we have a few answers to Garrow. So yeah, we can leave Dream Trawler at the top. We can use either Banishing Light here, or Elspeth Conquers Death. And we're going to use Banishing Light here. We still have Shatter the Sky.
I'll hunt elsewhere.
And we also have Glass Casket to take that token. So we can manage to take 1 damage per turn, with our opponent only having just 2 cards left. And yes, we also don't have enough mana to pay for Jawari, just in case. Just like that. But as I mentioned, we do have Elspeth Conquers Death, and we have Shatter the Sky. So we have enough to we have pretty much got everything that we need. And yeah, we're gonna put Dream Trawler at the bottom, leave Omen of the Sea at the top, because we have another Dream Trawler already in our hand.
Aha! Just what I was looking for.
Yeah, because we're leaving ourselves with just 1 mana open again, and we are not capable of casting Jawari. So at this point, I'd rather just play 1 Jawari and turn it into a land and leave the other Jawari back as a backup. And now our opponent has Questing Beast targeting both creatures.
It's good to learn from your failures.
Yeah. So, Shatter the Sky, gotta do that. We have to do it. Still, our opponent only has 2 cards left, so we can. Yeah, now they only have 1. So, and they're casting Garrow, and we can't counter it because they have 1 forest, 1 untapped forest.
Civilization.
So that is a little too bad.
Always growing.
However, we have Omen of the Sea. So let's see. Oh wow. We have another chance.
I need to protect as many people as possible.
We can scry with Jace. See.
At least I
Whoa,
look
there
like
you
I
go.
know what I'm doing.
So we got Banishing Light at the top. We can cast Omen of the Sea here, to be honest. I can't take another turn. Or can I? I guess we yeah, I guess I'll just I'll just go ahead and cast Shark Typhoon instead. Take 1 more turn of damage. Just gonna take 6. Good news is our opponent is just playing lands. They don't have, they're empty-handed, playing lands. Now I have a blocker. Well, I already know this, so we'll just keep it at that. We have a blocker. I can block the 6/6 trample, by the way, just for Jace to survive. Now, the thing about having Shark Typhoon is we are now generating creatures. But we are also lucky enough to have Banishing Light here to take out that second Garrow. I guess I'll leave them both at the top. So we now have threats, we have counter spells as backup, we have 2 of them, so in case our opponent does cast something scary that we really have to counter, and if they're leaving 1 mana open, then we can double Jawari them. Otherwise, next turn we'll be casting Dream Trawler, and we are going to start our comeback. Or so they say. Or maybe not. Maybe our opponent's going to think about it really hard, because they only have 1 card left. They only have a 3/3 token creature, and 8 mana open. On the other side, I have 2 flying sharks. 2 flying sharks. A bunch of enchantments and artifact. Well, a bunch of enchantments, 1 artifact, and 1 planeswalker. So just looking at the board, you already know.
Oh wow, this is amazing.
And our opponent may have ditched us. And that happens a lot, to be honest. I mean, you can just concede, because I do that. If I don't like what's happening, if I'm about to lose, I'd rather concede and go on to the next game. I mean, doing this isn't really going to bother me. I mean, I can wait. It's just a few minutes.
A few inches later.
This happens. And that happened. And yay. So we are just 2 games away. 2 games away. Alright, now moving on to game number 2. So what is it going to be? So we have 3 lands: Emeria's Call, Banishing Light, Omen of the Sea, and Neutralize. Just looking at Omen of the Sea, and then I have Banishing Light, and then I have Neutralize, and I can cast all 3 of them later on after a few turns. Yeah, I can keep it. I can definitely keep it. We also have Emeria's Call as our flexible option here, whether it can turn into a land or later on become a win condition. So yeah, we can keep it. Especially we don't know what our opponent is anyway. But if it's anything, well, we can adjust, to be honest, because we can use Banishing Light as a removal for an enchantment or non-creature permanent. So yeah, we can keep it. Oh, it's green again. It can be another one of those creature-based deck, or maybe one of those well, they have blue, so let's see. Alright. We have 2 Shatter the Skies, so in case this is a creature-based deck, yeah, we can survive that. Now we got another land. We'll put Ondu Inversion at the bottom because that's too much for us. We now have Neutralize ready in any case. So next turn I can either play Temple of Enlightenment or Birth of Melodies. So, well, I can definitely keep that on top. So since we have Neutralized, we're going on the safe play of not casting anything yet, especially since we only have Birth of Melodies anyway as card to cast here. Most of our cards here are reactive. So for something like that. Oh, so this is a mutate deck. Let's counter that. Knowing that I have another counter spell at the top of my library, so that decision was easy. Now we cast Birth of Melodies, we get another land, play it, and pass the turn. Because we got another Neutralize. I can definitely counter this, but I'd like to cast Omen of the Sea. I also have Blocker, but I think this one has Trample. Oh, well, a third Shatter the Sky is probably a little too much. We'll take the land. We now have a blocker, which will end up going into the graveyard. Or maybe not. We can do. We can cast Banishing Light here. We can cast Banishing Light, and we still have 3 mana open for Neutralize. So yeah, we'll do Banishing Light. Alright, so we still have a blocker. Our opponent's still not doing any damage. No creatures on the board. 5 cards left in their hand. And now they're passing their turn. Interesting. Well, we can play Maze Mind, Tome, and we still have 4 mana left. They decide to cast Pouncing Shore Shark. For what? The thing about this is he is probably going to bounce one of my enchantments. Most likely Banishing Light. Which will, if that is true, and that if that's what's going to happen, it will free up his creature. Which will now make more sense for me to cast Shatter the Sky. I'm reluctant to play Emeria here because we are now at the point wherein we can actually cast Emeria and turn it into a threat. Since our opponent is not doing anything, we can block it. Just block it. We can even take 1 hit from Pouncing Shore Shark, to be honest. Since we're up by 2, we can take 1 hit. We'll be down to 18, we're fine. Casting it. Not mutating. Casting. That is interesting. That will trigger Parcel Beast. Isn't that right? No, it's not. Okay, fine. That's good. Don't forget Mace Mind Tome. Let's draw a card. I probably will cast Shatter the Sky here. However, that will also going to leave us a little bit vulnerable here because we can't cast Neutralize. Although yes, we do have Jawari, but I doubt that the next creature our opponent will cast. Yeah, see, I doubt that we can counter it using Jawari because at this point of the game, Jawari is a little bit more of just a land rather than a counter spell, or maybe a backup counter spell, but is not as effective as. Oh yeah, I guess that's fine. But that also means we can target it with Glass Casket. So 2 cards, 2 creatures with 1 Glass Casket. Right? That sounds right? Alright. So Glass Casket for that Sea Dasher Octopus. The token is that another copy of Sea Dasher Octopus? Is that what it says? I'm not sure. And what is my opponent thinking about? Oh wow. This is not the same guy, right? That just stops playing and they don't feel like playing. It's not the same guy. I don't think so. I don't think so. Why? But why? I mean, you're not losing. You still have 20 life. You have a bunch of lands, and there you go. So yeah, let's take that Sea Dasher Octopus. I'm not sure about the token though. For some reason, I have a feeling that the token has the exact same ability as the original card. Well, we'll find out very soon. Oh, now you're mutating. Really now? And then you're gonna draw. Oh, great. So it is the exact same copy. Cultivate. Yeah, there's nothing we can do about that. I don't want to counter that using neutralize. Yeah, sure. You may want to play your land as well, just so you have a bunch of creatures, right? Oh, yes, you did. So let's draw another card here. Now I wish I didn't put that one sky, Shatter the Sky at the bottom. But anyway. Alright, well, let's put that land at the top. But let's also keep Dream Trawler. So we now have a win condition. We are also going to cast Shatter the Sky here, because there's no way that we will survive without casting it like right now. So we gotta do it now. Good news is all of the creatures are 3/4, so we're not giving our opponent another card here. And then we can counter whatever is the next spell that is scary. That one's not scary, so yeah, we'll keep it. We can keep it. The next one though, if it's scary, then yeah, maybe. Oh! Why? Oh, they're giving us a win, so I will definitely take that. And we are now moving on to game 3. And hopefully we get to platinum. Well, since we have Birth of Melodies here and we are on the draw, I'll keep it. And we also have Jawari, Disruption, Moment of the Sea, Into the Royal. Pretty much every single card except Shatter the Sky, we can cast them. So yeah, that's fine. Yeah. Why do I have a feeling that this is a Croxa deck? Just a hunch. Or, yeah, maybe. Maybe not. Let's see. Alright, so we are not drawing any lands. That's not good. Yeah, I guess that's fine. It's just 1 damage. And we go with Omen of the Sea. So we can get a land, which we did not. Now, let's have, since we have 2 Omen of the Seas and then a Glass Casket, then it's decided that Ondu will be a land. Now our opponent is casting Robber of the Rich, which will most likely take one of our cards. Yeah, they only have 4 cards left, so they will take 1 card. That's Into the Royal. Or is it Into the Story? That's Into the Story. They can cast it anyway, so that's fine. Omen of the Sea. We need a land. At this point, we really need to get a land. Yes. So that is exactly what we need. So at this point, I can cast Glass Casket and target Robber of the Rich, because no, that's really not a good card to keep attacking us. So yeah, they got our Into the Story. They may get another one, maybe an important card to us if we let that attack us next turn. So we have to take care of that. Now we are also leaving 2 mana open for our Jawari Disruption. So yeah, we're kinda somewhat protected in a way, because if our opponent's going to be casting like 2 mana through or 1 mana creature, we're fine for as long as it's not Robber the Reacher. What is that? Treacherous Blessing. When Treacherous Blessing enters the battlefield, draw 3 cards, and whenever a spell is cast, you lose 1 life. Well, I can't counter it anyway, and its effect is a little bit somewhat something that we can use against our opponent, except we're letting them draw 3 cards. But it has a drawback, and we may be able to use that against them. We have to find out. Because that's any spell. So they have 23 life right now. This one has lifelink. So the deck does have synergy. It makes sense for him to keep that, because 1, that's card advantage. Simple as that. It does have a drawback, yes, but it's a card advantage first and foremost. If your deck is something like this, wherein it kills your opponent kinda quickly, then having that makes sense. But if your opponent is just like my deck, wherein you can try and hopefully make this and turn this into a long game, and hopefully we survive long enough for that card to become a nuisance, a problem for our opponent, then it's good enough for me. We're not gonna destroy that. Gonna Let that deal 1 damage to him. That creature is fine. We're still gonna take 1 damage. However, we need to take care of that Archfiend vessel, to be honest. Why? Because... Oh! Now that's a little too greedy for me. A second one. My opponent's going all out. A second Treacherous Blessing. So every spell is now going to hit you for 2. And you're gaining 1 life per turn. I don't think he can sustain that. I don't think he can sustain that. So I'll gain 2 life. This is really interesting. We now have Neutralize. Sadly though... Oh yeah, actually no. Never mind. We can cast Jawari if we have to. We do have Field of Ruin to destroy any of the blood-filled caves. So yeah, we can survive that. Or the Temple of Malice. So that's fine. Whatever is the next card that our opponent is going to cast though, for as long as it's just one of those 1 mana, 2 mana creature, that's fine. We can let it through. We have Shatter the Sky, waiting patiently for us to cast. We're not gonna pull the trigger on Shatter the Sky yet. Now they're taking 2 damage. We have Skyclave Shade. We may have to pull the trigger on that Shatter the Sky now. Although yes, our opponent, they still have 6 cards left. We can block 1 of them. Either one is fine. We'll take 1. They will gain 1. But yeah, we have to survive, and our opponent is going to kill himself with Treacherous Blessing. So let's just bounce one of our omens using Intruder Royal for value. Oh, now we have a second Shatter the Sky. So I don't think... Well, yeah, we now have more reasons to pull the trigger on one of our Shatter the Skies. I'm also disposing one of the non-basic lands, so we now have a 3rd island. So we now can cast both Neutralize and Jawari Disruption at the same time in case we have to, but next turn we will be casting Shatter the Sky. Yep. Let's do this. Let's take them all out. Good news is we have 3 lands left, untapped. So we have enough. Malik here. I think that's the one where you sacrifice your own creature and then it comes back. Yeah, that's the one. Yep. I guess that's fine. I can cast Banishing Light now, but I also have Neutralize. And I'm doing it anyway. Well, I'm down to 14. And our opponent has mountains. We have to remember they have red mana available. So we don't know exactly what is in their deck. There is a chance that they have burn spells. that they can just throw in our face. Now they're taking damage. Skyclave and Demon. I can glass casket one of them, cast Yorion, and blink banishing light to take the other one. That isn't a bad plan. However, I wanted to maximize the use of Yorion, so I was really hoping I have Omen of the Sea in play for that. But, well, we gotta do what we gotta do. That's 9 damage. So, and then Yorion. Yeah. Or not. Because I really wanted Omen of the Sea to be in play here. So maybe we can take 4 down to 10 if our opponent is going to be casting another creature. Maybe we can cast Shatter the Sky instead of Yorion, and then we can cast Yorion later on. That's a good plan as well. I mean, we can well, now we're gonna be down to 8. We are going to be down to 8. We also have Elspeth Conquers Death here. But I guess I'm a little too greedy to want to have Omen of the Sea before I cast Yorion. So I have to accept I'll be down 8 instead. But that's fine. I mean, since our opponent passed the turn back to us, wow, we now have another Shatter the Sky here, so we will definitely keep that one as an insurance just in case, because we will most likely be casting Shatter the Sky here. Or Yorion. Actually, you can do Yorion as what we originally planned. Either way, Archfiend's Vessel will only take us down to 7. Yorion can now blink 2 Omens of the Sea and Banishing Light to take the Scourge of the Skyclaves. And then, if they do have a creature removal, we can't counter it, but at least Yorion done its job, which is to blink the enchantments that I need. So even though that, yes, Scourge will go up to 8, we can still take that down. And we will pass the turn back to our opponent. Yeah, we don't need Jace. We need what do we need? We need creature. We need a win condition. But as I have planned earlier, we are now using Treacherous Blessing against our opponent. His own card against him. I guess 1 Treacherous Blessing in play is fine, but having 2 and with no life gain that will consistently bring you up and negates the 2 damage that Treacherous Blessing does, Oh wow, now I have 3 Shatter the Sky. The only thing that we need here, we need to do is to survive. And yeah, we are going to take 1 damage. If our opponent decides to cast another creature. Oh wow. Desperate times. Sure. You can do that, I guess. That's fine. A good thing this card doesn't have haste. Or, yeah, it doesn't have haste. So they destroyed our Banishing Light, which means we'll take 1. But that also means our opponent is down to 8. Which also means casting... Do I have enough? No. No, I don't. I don't have enough. I have to cast Shatter the Sky. And this is the part where it becomes... Oh, the Malik here. The one where it comes back after you kill it. So we have to counter that. You can't do that. You are down to 6, my friend. So whatever spell you cast... Yeah, that is the one where it returns your creature if you sacrifice it. So we have Jawari Disruption. But then again, that is not effective. Points down 7. Just like us. We are not doing anything in our opponent. Now, we can cast Shark Typhoon. We have Jawari Disruption, or even Into the Royal, or even Shatter the Sky, or even Elspeth Conquers Death. I think this one's in the bag. Oh! A third one. You know what? You can have it. You will be down to 5. Down to 5, my friend. With Treacherous Blessing will kill you if you don't stop casting. If you stop casting, though, I will kill you. This is a really interesting deck. A really interesting deck. One way or another, since we only have Jawari Disruption and Into the Royal here, I'll just wait for them to do something. Let them cast whatever creature card, creature spell, or whatever. They will be down to 2 if they decide to cast a spell, which we are going to bounce anyway, using Into the Royal. There you go. Sure. So that's the game plan. And this one says dies, right? If it dies. Oh. Well, you just killed yourself, isn't it? he just killed himself. Good game. And yay, finally. Ranked up. We finally reached platinum. Well, that's as far as we go for now. If you like this video, you know what to do. And see you again in the next episode. Ciao.